Hi Aries, welcome to your May 2022 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign, Aries, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. If you would like to book your personal reading, you can get that on the link in the description box below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and interactions with the world at large in May, can you believe it is May already? Crazy, like how fast this year is going, and I know we say that every year, but they really do seem to speed up. So for your actions and options, you have the Three of Swords. So this is a month where, my dear Leos, my dear Aries, this is a month where you are letting go and releasing, right? So your actions and interactions with the world at large, this is about what you do, what you initiate. And that Three of Swords suggests that you are cutting ties. Maybe you're releasing a relationship, a partnership. For some of you, this could be a moment at which you decide to really let go of whatever the strings are to the baggage that you've collected over a lifetime. The Three of Swords can be a separation that hurts the heart. So sometimes we really do feel this at a deep level, but because it's like this is you consciously making this decision. So in a lot of ways, this could be you really starting to release some sort of personal toxicity. Maybe this is an old wound, an old hurt, maybe it's burying a hatchet as well. Whatever it is, it's going to be something that really causes, or rather really forces you to confront how you actually feel about what it is that you're having to release or to let go of. In a lot of ways, this could be very cathartic for you, and it could be really powerful. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Nine of Wands. So remember what I was saying about burying a hatchet or letting go of an old wound? This is both of those, right? So for those of you that have had challenges or issues with loved ones, siblings, family members, a partner, etc., this month it really does look like you're having a conversation, you're talking something out, you're burying a hatchet, you're able to let something go. So there's a few ways that this could show up. You know, one way that this could be is literally you have a conversation with someone and say, you know what, we're going to have to agree to disagree and we'll put it down. For some of you, this could be literally you saying it's time for us to part ways. There's no way for this connection or this interaction really to be of a blessing for either of us, and so you're having to walk away or to let it go. Now the Nine of Wands in your communication sector does suggest this may be something that you've been holding on to for a while. And the thing with the Nine of Wands, I often say to people, your moment to speak, like to divulge or to say what it is that you need to say, it's at hand, right? So the good news is you will get to say whatever it is that you've had sort of on your chest. You'll be able to get rid of it. But coupled with the Three of Swords, it does look like something is coming to an end here. So this could be a friendship, a partnership. It could be, an argument, a challenge, an issue. Something is being released, and you know, while it's a good thing to let these things go, I guess, it could still be something that you feel on like a very visceral level. You know, whether you're working, studying, or in the professional life as well, this could be a really good time for you to discover or rediscover where it is that you feel like some part of you or some potential is going unfulfilled. When it comes to your love and relations, you've got the Six of Wands. So this is really nice, especially because you've got this with the Nine of Wands and all the other cards that have come up. For some of you, this could literally be mending the rift in a relationship. This could literally be like through the process of this, it's like you're having that really hard conversation with your lover, with your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, like your significant other or others, you know, depending on, you know, how you experience life. And I kind of get the feeling that for a lot of you, it's like this was a really hard conversation to have, but it needed to be had in order for any solace or forward movement or momentum to be gained, which is really, really nice, actually. And the fact that it is the Six of Wands next to the Nine of Wands, not only do you get to speak on what it is that you feel like you've had to hold back on, but whatever you are speaking out into the world is greatly received, all right? So that's actually really nice. When it comes to those of you that are single, well, the Six of Wands definitely bodes well for love and relationships. It does suggest that you're a little bit raw this month, right? Just with everything else that's going on. So I would say that if you are meeting someone, they're meeting you kind of, not even so much not at your best, they're just meeting you at a point where you are quite raw, a little bit vulnerable, a little bit exposed. So it's kind of like literally what you see is what you get. And then for your money and materials, you've got the Ace of Swords. This is really nice, especially next to the Six of Wands. So this could be an opportunity or a job prospect of some sort that comes through a family member, a close friend, potentially new business that comes through the partner. The Ace of Swords is a new contract, so this could be an interview, it could be a job interview, it could be new business coming in. The Ace of Swords also suggests a solid decision being made around money and or finances. With this much energy of releasing things, this would be a really great month as well to consolidate or remove any forms of debt. Because you're severing ties, right? It's the Ace of Swords, but it's also a new beginning. So you are making a solid financial decision this month that actually could be, very beneficial for you in a lot of ways. For your first week of it kind of ties in as well, actually, because on the 28th of April, you've got that, on the 30th of April, rather, you've got that eclipse in the second house. So very interesting. So for your first week of the month, you've got the Sun card. Whatever it is that you are releasing, it really only serves to make your life lighter and brighter. So whatever it is that you're letting go of, whatever it is that you're having to release, it's like, when they lance a boil in order to squeeze out all the gunk and the goo, it's very much like that. Or like if you've ever had an abscess on a tooth, like the stuff that's inside that is actually very toxic to the human body, which is really weird because it's grown inside your body, right? But they have to pop it and drain that stuff out so that you don't swallow it and it doesn't go back into your system. That's what this feels like. This first week of the month, it's like you are making a very strategic but very surgical sort of cut or removal in your life in order for it to really flourish. And the Sun card basically says it's not that bad. So if you are having a conversation that's really hard and something's coming to an end, it's likely not only to have a satisfactory conclusion, but one that is for the best of everybody involved. And it's more likely to be the mending of a rift than it is the complete ending of a relationship. For your second week of the month, you've got the Wheel of Fortune. For those of you that are planning to travel in the month of May, your first 2 weeks of the month, so the first and second weeks of May, look great for you for travel. Now you've got the Wheel of Fortune combined here with the Nine of Wands. That could be some sort of international communications or connections. It could just as easily be as well a spontaneous opportunity that opens up through, I almost want to say, like, it could be an opportunity that opens up through your vulnerability. So maybe, like this is one of those times where maybe you're talking about something that's really hard for you to talk about and the right person overhears you and they're like, actually, you know what, I can help you with this. Don't be surprised if some sort of synchronicity shows up for you in that second week of the month. For your and the Wheel of Fortune coupled with the Sun card, that is literally travel. So seeing those two together, wonderful. So for your third week of the month, you've got my favorite card in the whole deck, and probably one of my favorite cards in all of my decks, I have to say. You've got the Tree of Life. This card for me represents divine intervention and assistance. So where potentially a relationship is going through a change, a challenge, is needing to have some sort of remedial conversation, etc., it bodes very, very well, because it's like, not only are you seeing things from all perspectives, but there is true healing that can take place here. Remember, this card represents divine intervention and assistance, and I actually often say this card acts or behaves the way that I've seen it and read it. It acts very, very similar to the Wheel of Fortune. So this mid portion of the month, the 2nd and 3rd weeks of May, this could be where some truly amazing stuff shows up for you. It could also be a time at which you find that synchronicities, harmony is just flowing throughout your life. You've got this underneath the Wheel of Fortune. So again, this could be like connections or recalibrations of relationships that have once been very close to you. For those of you that are single, I would definitely say that this is a month where you could be meeting someone, connecting with somebody, especially somebody that is either lives at a distance, maybe somebody that's from a foreign culture or background, or maybe even just somebody that really gives you the challenge. Like, a lot of people are quite wary around Aries, because nobody really knows when they're gonna pop off. So like, this could be somebody that's like, yeah, I know who you are, and no, I'm not afraid of you. So, you know, you're going to have to come with something better than that. And I actually think that's a good thing for you. For your 4th week of the month, you got the Temperance card here with the Ace of Swords. So I like this in that when it comes to your money, your finances and your resources, there is balance and harmony being brought to this area. You've not long had an eclipse in your 2nd house at this point. And so what this suggests to me is around the 4th week of May, you're going to start to see what that eclipse has really set into motion for you. This is new opportunities, quite possibly that are coming from overseas or from distant spaces and places. But with the Temperance card, this is also, it's like, I will say you probably have more options than you can actually do anything with, which is never a bad thing. It just means that you're going to have to be very selective about what you do bring in or take on board. So for your full moon, you've got the full moon, which is an eclipse full moon. Yes, it's a full moon eclipse in the sign of Scorpio on the 16th of May. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. If you've been with me long enough, you know I've been talking about this one, and I've got to say it's not going to be easy for anyone. This is going to be very intense. So just be aware that this energy is coming up. What I tend to do around eclipses is the 2 days before, the day of, and the 2 days after, I will try to either block that time out or at least not be as available, because I know myself around eclipses, I get a little bit, because when I'm a very lunar being, so I'm fully aware of how to manage my lunacy at this point. So your full moon message is the gate 59 and intimacy. I find this really interesting with all the stuff that I was talking about earlier, especially for those of you that are in relationships, or those of you that have had challenges around relationships that have truly left sort of marks or stains in some way. This could be a time where you are really starting to recalibrate what relationships are and mean to you, but also this could see you really starting to say, okay, I want that deeper level of intimacy, I want that deeper bond with a partner, but in order to get there, there's a whole bunch of purging that's needing to take place in order for that to happen. So that full moon could really heighten this for you, especially because if you're an ascendant Aries to a lesser degree but still relevant, the sun and the moon, that eclipse is going to be taking place in your 8th house, which is all to do with our deep wounds. It's sex, sensuality, the taboo, death, rebirth, transformation. The 8th house is a packed house, and it's a very psychological one. So sometimes in the 8th house we can see where our deep wounds are, and sometimes those wounds are around sex, sensuality, intimacy and partnership. So the fact that you're having a full moon eclipse there, expect something to come up around this that is needing to be changed, that's needing to be acknowledged, that's really kind of getting you at that deep level. And then on the 30th of May, we've got the new moon in the sign of Gemini, and you have the gate 34 and power. I love this card because it actually represents and demonstrates where our unique talents, gifts, skills and powers actually are. So around that new moon on the 30th, I would not be surprised if some personal deepening of a gift or a spiritual kind that you already have shows up for you, or for some of you, a brand new gift, some new skill that, you know, suddenly starts to become something that you really lean on from here on in. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.